The village huddled close, wary of the woods. Ancient, sprawling, they whispered secrets on the wind. Secrets of things unseen, of creatures of the night. The villagers spoke of a beast, a werewolf, bound to the forest by a curse. They said it stalked the full moon, its howl a mournful echo in the stillness. Fear, thick and heavy, hung over the village whenever the moon climbed high. Elise, with eyes the color of the summer sky, never feared the stories. She had always been different, a dreamer with a heart full of curiosity. The tales of old, filled with magic and mystery, were not just stories to her. They were a call to adventure. She felt a deep connection to these ancient narratives, as if they were woven into the very fabric of her being. She was drawn to the mystery, the whisper of magic that clung to the werewolf legend. The forest, with its ancient trees and hidden secrets, seemed to beckon her. Every rustle of leaves, every shadow that danced in the moonlight spoke to her in a language only she could understand. Since childhood, she had listened, enthralled to the elders speak of the beast. Their voices, filled with both fear and reverence, painted vivid pictures in her mind. She could almost see the creature, feel its presence, as if it were a part of her own story. Her heart ached for the creature, bound to a life not its own. She imagined the loneliness, the pain of being misunderstood, and felt a deep empathy. It was as if their fates were intertwined, two souls searching for understanding in a world that feared the unknown. She felt a strange connection, a pull towards the heart of the forest. It was an unexplainable bond, a magnetic force that drew her closer with each passing day. The forest was her sanctuary, a place where she could be herself, free from the constraints of the outside world.
One day, unable to resist the call any longer, she decided. The decision was not made lightly, but with a resolve that had been building within her for years. She knew the journey would be fraught with danger and uncertainty, but her spirit was unyielding. She had prepared herself for this moment, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Elise would meet the beast of the woods. She would look into its eyes and see not a monster, but a soul as lost and searching as her own. This was her destiny, her path to understanding and perhaps to changing the story forever.
The night of the full moon arrived, bathing the village in an eerie silver glow. Elise, her heart pounding, slipped from her home. She walked towards the forest's edge, each step charged with anticipation. The air grew colder, the scent of pine needles stronger as she entered the woods. Moonlight filtered through the dense canopy, painting strange shapes on the forest floor. She walked deeper, the village fading into the distance. The sounds of the night surrounded her, the hoot of an owl, the rustle of leaves, and the distant howl of a wolf. Elise felt a mix of fear and excitement. The forest was alive with unseen things. The rustle of leaves, the snap of a twig, the hoot of an owl, all heightened her senses. Shadows danced around her, fueled by the moon and her racing heart. Fear, cold and sharp, pricked at her, but she pressed on. A strange sense of peace settled over her, guiding her way. She had a growing feeling that she was not alone. A low growl, deep and guttural, shattered the silence. Before her, bathed in moonlight, stood the beast. Taller than a man, covered in coarse fur, its eyes glowed with a deep, primal sorrow. The werewolf lowered its head, a low whine escaping its throat. It was not the fearsome monster of the village tales. This creature was filled with a profound sadness, a longing for release. Elise, instead of fear, felt a surge of empathy. Images flashed in her mind, a life lived under the moon, the agony of transformation, the isolation of the curse. Memories not her own, yet intensely familiar, washed over her. She could see the pain, the loneliness, and the endless nights of suffering. It was as if she was living those moments herself, feeling every emotion, every heartbeat. The connection was undeniable, a bond that transcended time and space. Elise's heart ached for the soul trapped in this endless cycle of torment. She realized that this was not just a random encounter, but a destined meeting, a chance to change the course of fate. The weight of this realization settled on her shoulders, but instead of feeling burdened, she felt a sense of purpose. She knew that she had been chosen for this moment, to be the one to bring light to a soul lost in darkness. The echoes of this forgotten life resonated deeply within her, stirring a determination she had never felt before.
I understand now. You're not a monster, but a soul trapped, yearning for freedom. Your pain is my pain, your struggle is my struggle. Together we can find a way to break this curse, to set you free from this eternal night. We will face the shadows together, and I will not rest until you are free. The bond we share is stronger than any curse, and I believe in our ability to overcome this. We are connected by fate, and together we will rewrite your story.
And she knew, with a certainty that defied logic, that she held the key to breaking the curse. The ancient key she held in her hand seemed to glow with a mystical light, resonating with the energy of the moon. It was a symbol of hope, a beacon in the darkness. Elise felt a surge of determination, a resolve to see this through. She knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, but she was ready. With the key in her hand and the moon as her guide, she would unlock the chains that bound this tormented soul and bring an end to the echoes of a forgotten life. The path would be long and arduous, filled with trials that would test her resolve, but she was prepared to face them all. The moonlight bathed her in its gentle glow, filling her with a sense of calm and strength. She took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the key in her hand, and stepped forward into the night, ready to confront whatever lay ahead. The echoes of the past would no longer dictate the future. She would carve a new destiny, one filled with hope and freedom. As the realization dawned, a warm light emanated from Elise. It enveloped the werewolf, pushing back the shadows of the curse. The beast looked at her, eyes wide with surprise, then relief. The light intensified, bathing the forest in its warmth. The werewolf convulsed, its form shifting, shrinking, until a man stood in its place. He was human, yet his eyes held the same sorrow, the same plea for understanding.